Breaking news in the Westlake District where crews are battling a massive fire.
Gil Lavis is in Sky 5 overhead. Gil?
Sharon, Pedro, we're just arriving on scene. This is the 2800 block of West 7th Street with the cross of Hoover Street. You can see this building. It's a occupied center hall, two-story apartment complex here on 7th Street. As I come out to a wide shot, you see the LA City Fire Department working this fire. It is fully involved in the attic, we're hearing, and on that second floor. We also understand that there might be some businesses on the lower floor. We're going to continue to move to the west and north here, Harry, to get a better shot of the street side of it. But you're seeing a lot of flame coming through the roof. You see firefighters actually on the roof behind that advertising sign here. And it's a very difficult fire to fight at this point. They have their ladders up, and they have that roof division up there to ventilate the roof. But at this point, that second floor is fully engulfed in the rear. The firefighters there in the front of the fire, the structure I should say. We're going to move to the north side and west to get a better view of what they have on the far east corner of it, but you can see all the firefighters here working on the ground and up on the roof to try to knock this fire down. And as I zoom into the windows, you can see that it's moved through that second story in the rear, at least almost all the way across the building.
This is a surround and drown situation, as you can see here, as they've got as much water that they can into the ventilated roof that you have there, the ladders, and doing what they can to try and get this fire under control. Again, this is on 7th and Hoover Street, an apartment complex in the Westlake District, a mixed-use building with stores possibly on the bottom and residences up above. So definitely looking like a complete loss for this portion of the building at the top there, as multiple firefighters try to continue to vent that roof there and have their stream coming into it as a surround and drown situation, as they call it.
Yeah, trying to keep it from spreading to any of the buildings. As you can see right behind this building that's on fire, there was another building that doesn't look like it has any damage to it, but of course, you want to keep it from spreading to anywhere else at this time. Gil, what are the winds looking like out there? Of course, that's a big concern. You don't want any of those embers to get away from you.
Well, the winds are a little bit of a problem. You can see the smoke pushing off towards the north and east. As I come out to a wide shot, you'll see that smoke plume. It's pretty dark smoke that's blowing off towards, I would say, Dodger Stadium area. You see the lake there at the top of your screen, MacArthur Park. As I zoom back in, you can see more units flooding into the area here. Those ladders are up to the roof, and those firefighters running out of space up there. They'll likely be getting off that roof here in just any moment.
Yeah, just looking here from Google Maps, several businesses on the first floor from what we see here on Google Maps. So it does look like you mentioned, a mixed-use building where you have those apartments upstairs and several businesses downstairs. Any reports at this time of injuries, or if anyone was inside at the time when this happened?
No, Pedro, we've heard nothing of any sort of injuries at this point, but I'm hearing the fire department talking about actually officially going defensive on this because of the nature of the fire taking over the entire second floor and burning through that attic space. So we'll see if they actually do that. We'll know so if those firefighters get off the roof.
Yeah, this is according to the LAFD Twitter account, the Westlake structure fire at 2800 West 7th Street, a mixed-use building with businesses down below and an apartment complex up above, an apartment building up above. It started, from what we understand, in the attic. You have several fire trucks and dozens of firefighters doing what they can to try and get a handle of this. And of course, the surrounding area of this downtown area in the Westlake District is going to be experiencing some detours, as well as the fire department and all the other authorities there try to get a handle on this fire and do their best. But we're starting to see a little bit of progress, as we do with that smoke turning a bit white there, and so that is some good news. But again, this is a pretty ferocious structure fire here in the Westlake District. Gil?
Yeah, sorry about that, having a discussion with my pilot here. As I zoom back in here, yeah, it looks like they're starting to get the upper hand on this. This is a great battle by the LA City Fire. You see less flames coming through. It's likely because it's burned through all that material on the roof, but still one heavy spot there in the center that they're working to get. So pretty courageous for those firefighters to be up there on that roof with limited space for them behind them. But they're doing battle with it, and they're doing a great job trying to get this knocked down. It's as I come out wide here, let's see if there's any. It's a little hard to see if there's any hose lines that are pulled inside the structure itself. They might be battling it from within. You see some firefighters there on the ground. But definitely putting up a lot of smoke. Now it's turning white, so that's a good indication that they're starting to get a handle on this fire.
Yeah, that's at least some good news. We are just wishing the best for those firefighters on the roof. You don't want anything to happen to them, of course. And behind them, there's not much room to go. They're really on just really looks like a small piece of the roof there, battling the fire, shooting the water inside from above.
Yeah.
If you're familiar with this area, if you live around this area, 7th Street and Hoover, please just avoid the area. Firefighters right now are continuing to battle the flames there, but looks like they're doing a pretty good job.
Yeah, they did a whole lot of venting in that roof to try and get a handle on it. And as we see the different fire trucks there with their ladders extended all the way through, and the hoses coming from every direction. They call that the surround and drown, as I've been mentioning, of trying to get a handle of it on it. Some black smoke, white smoke. Every now and then it seems like they might get the upper hand, and then another flare up comes up. As you can see there, you can see at least maybe 10 firefighters there on the edge of the roof, and you realize just how dangerous this profession really truly is when they're that close to those flames. You just never know when that flare up's going to happen, but they are prepared, and they've been through this before, and they're continuing to just spike through that roof again and vent it just a little bit more.
Yeah, those are the best of the best that you're seeing right there, right now. You got to have courage to be up there. So we're very thankful for them to be battling these flames right now and trying to avoid containing those flames so they don't get to any other businesses. You look across the street, you have the Winchell's Donuts, you have a liquor store there, across the street you have a bakery. There's a lot of other businesses there, and the last thing you want is for the fire to continue to spread. It looks like even on the back side of the building, there's another building that has not been touched. So far, all the flames look like they're in that front portion of the building, but just from the eyeball view, it's a loss at this point. So trying to make sure, again, it does not spread anywhere else.
At this point, we have no injuries to report, which is some good news. But we're continuing to follow this. It's been going on for about now maybe 10 minutes or so. And you can see the streams of water shooting over every now and then to the top right of your screen. The smoke turning black again, and looks like it might be taking a turn, but then white smoke. So it's one of those situations, Gil, as you watch, you're like, oh, I think they've got a handle on it, and then all of a sudden, maybe not.
Yeah.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, look at how they're battling there. And you're right, it's going white, then dark again and white again. But they're standing their line. They're holding their line right there, trying to save the front portion of that second floor. It looks like the bottom level, the ground level, is intact. We're not hearing any reports of fire down on that level, so that's good news. But the firefighters feeling comfortable enough to stay there. When we zoom in, it looks like that fire is looking right past those firefighters, but at this point, they're standing their ground. They look pretty confident in their battle up there and not getting off the roof at this point.
Yeah, we're talking about apartments here, with gas lines, obviously, and lots of furniture and the bunch that, very combustible stuff, right? And when
you talk about the first floor, you have, which you could see there at the bottom of your screen, you have a beauty salon there, a barber shop. There could be some flammable things in there. Also, it looks like next door there's a auto repair business there, electronics, even. So all that stuff, of course, is something you factor in as you see right there, electronics. You have the beauty supply store right next door. That's always a factor. But it looks like right now the fire hasn't even, at least from this view, doesn't look like it even affected that portion of the building so far.
Yeah, it looks like the businesses below are safe, which is good news. But of course, if you're one of those business owners, you're probably wondering what's happening and seeing this on your TV, and probably want to go and head down there at this point, But at this, probably best just to stay put for now and let the firefighters do their job because, they always want to protect life, then property. And so when people come from outside and they have to start turning their attention to other people, to try and direct them again, you know, it can hinder their work.
And our producers told us that there's possibly some additional resources that are en route to help these firefighters try to get a better handle of this situation. Gil, so far I can imagine the entire area is blocked off, of course, as they're trying to keep people back to make sure that they can focus on this fire.
It really is, Pedro and Sharon. Now we're hearing that it looks like those firefighters are going to start exiting the roof. They were holding that line there, but they're really running out of space, maybe a couple steps behind to the edge of the building. So it sounds like they're going to exit off the roof here, one group at a time, but still trying to battle and do what they can to shut down or turn this fire, put the fire out, I should say. But I can tell you by looking out the window that the area is heavily trafficked. There's a lot of traffic on the roads because of this closure here at 7th and Hoover. So it looks like at this point that's going to be the case for a while, and the traffic, we're seeing some, looks like officers running here. Not sure what's going on with that, but we're going to try to get some information on that. But as far as the traffic goes, this intersection completely shut down, and now they're going to work to try to get this fire knocked down in a surround and drown situation.
Yeah. There was like at least a dozen officers, a dozen firefighters on top of that roof, and not a lot of space when you're talking about the roof. As you could saw, the flames were coming through. They only had a small patch of area they could stand up there that's safe. So now, as you can see, one at a time coming down.
Yeah, it looks like the fire's taking a different turn. About 5 minutes ago, it looked like they may have had a handle on it, but they're being told probably as to get, you can see some of them retreating now and on the ladders there and going back to their trucks. And but there's still some officers on the roof there trying to battle the fire as best that they can with their hoses. But there is a retreat happening here, and we did also see some firefighters running with some urgency down below. You wonder if there might be an injury that will be reported shortly, but we'll wait and see and wait for our assignment desk to give us that information if indeed there has been an injury, but hopefully there hasn't. But smoke inhalation, of course, a common factor of a common injury that happens with these kind of fires and being so close. So again, this on 7th and Hoover Street, it's causing a lot of traffic. If you're going through the downtown area, the Westlake District, and need to be there right now, it's best to go a little bit earlier than you expected and to expect some detours if you have an appointment or some kind of, whatever plans in the downtown area. So
yeah, avoid it. Fire. Last thing you want to do is become a distraction. You want to get to where you want to go safely. Just avoid that entire area at this point, as firefighters are really, of course, focused on trying to get this fire out, but also keeping it from getting to any of the surrounding businesses, as wind has certainly been a factor all day long. Just look at the cloud of smoke that they are standing in right now. You're just wishing the best. Of course, we don't know at this time how the fire started, I believe. We haven't been told. That's something that once this fire's out, you'll send in the investigators. They'll look to try to get a determination on what it could be, but we don't know.
Gil?
Well, Sharon, Pedro, the last of the firefighters coming off now. You see that one firefighter there. Looks like he's going to be the last one to come down. What we were seeing earlier with the officers running, it looked like it was LAPD officers running to the side of the building here, and I think they're still there. Let me come over here while those firefighters come down. They're talking to some of the residents or possibly one of the business owners here that was trying to make access to the building, and those officers had to come over and back him away for his own safety. But as we look here, the last of the firefighters coming off the roof, we'll see if they go defensive, fully defensive, or officially defensive on this. I do hear that they still have some units inside the structure putting water on it from the inside, so we'll see if they do in fact put those heavy streams from their ladder pipes onto this. But at this point, the last of the firefighters looks like they're about to exit the roof and make their way down.
Gosh.
And this will change the firefight.
Yeah, it certainly will. Still trying to get the last bit of water from the hose over there. As you can see, there are just 2 firefighters left up there on that roof, and your heart goes out to them. It's such a dangerous situation. We watch it from here, and he's venting the roof, as you see there, and more flames are coming through. And it looked like they had a handle on it, and now they just have to you know, retreat and think of a different way to fight this fire. So the additional resources are coming in, which is it seems that they had requested additional resources that are en route right now, and this is one of those fires where usually something like this would take maybe about half an hour to knock down, but it's a
So
tough
big.
one.
It's so big. Even that little, I don't know if you could see right there near the ladder, there's that small hole that now flames have been shooting through. That wasn't there just about 10 minutes ago, right? So the firefighters have to get off. They're venting it. They're trying to, you know, get some air in there. They have to get off. I mean, that's just the safest thing for them to do. They're the professionals.
Look at that.
You have this firefighter here, the last one there, doing the best he can, and then firefighters on the ground. We believe. Are they attacking from inside, Gil?
Yeah, I still hear that they're they have access inside the structure. They have lines pulled in there and are fighting it from within. So they're not going defensive. As long as they have firefighters inside the structure, they won't put those heavy ladder pipe streams coming into the building. They will wait until everybody's out of the building and then hit it defensively like that into that official surround and drown situation that we see many times in commercial fires, and as well as even home that catch fire. But at this point, that one firefighter, they're still doing what he can. And you're right, Pedro, look at that fire coming through that hole there. It's getting worse. He's trying to put it out.
Yeah, I just want him to get
and
on the
all
other
that
side.
Yeah, and all that smoke that is coming up in their face, their visibility must be difficult. They got to know where those holes are just to get back to the ladder. See, as he's doing now.
There he is.
And it looks like he's done.
That's good.
Yeah, it's nice to see him on that ladder and making his way back to the truck. Yeah, so now, and I stand corrected, of course, that surround and drown hadn't started yet. They've been fighting this fire with just their hoses from the roof with the venting, and it looks like that tactic is now going to change to the surround and drown, as you said, that we see with commercial fires.
Well, you're right, Cher, because they do have the building surrounded by firefighters. So they're going in multiple sides. They call it division sides, or division. They call it Alpha, Bravo, Charlie, and Delta sides of the structure. So they do, in fact, have it surrounded in that manner. But once they go official to the defensive mode, that's when they pull everybody out of the structure, off the roof, and then hit it with the heavy streams from above. But at this point, it looks like, as I come out to a wide shot, it looks like the entire roof now is a loss there. That attic space is burned all the way through the roof now. And so we'll see if there is going to be a need for the heavy streams. The one concern is that ground level, the businesses down there, putting heavy streams of water in there will likely destroy that bottom floor and whatever is in there if it's not on fire right now.
And small businesses, you know, you feel for the people there. As you mentioned, there was some people that police had to stop. You don't know if maybe they were somehow affiliated, if they lived upstairs, or maybe they're one of the business owners. You feel for them. That's your livelihood, right? For each one of those businesses on the first floor, Gil. And it's I get wanting to get there and get whatever you can out and save what you can, but like Cher, you've been mentioning it, you know, it's a life over property any day of the week.
Yeah, obviously. And so they're going to turn their attention to you rather than the property, but they have their people in place. You know, that is they have their people in place. They've got extra resources coming in as well. And so we'll be seeing those additional fire trucks coming in shortly. And we do see one more firefighter looking like he's going up the ladder and to check in on the roof there. You know, you just want them all to get off there because you just don't know what's going to happen. You don't want that to collapse in, but they know exactly when it's time. So
the flames look like they've died down just a bit on the top, Gil, no?
Yeah, they do have a little bit of roof there to play with there on the right-hand side where that one ladder is with the two firefighters. But yeah, for the most part, if I tilt up here and show you, that's all burned out. It looks like burned through, and you can, if it was light outside, you could see what's down there inside on that second floor. But this stubborn part of the fire here, this is on the northeast corner of the building, is still burning there pretty heavily.
And it's whipping around, Gil. I mean, it looks like almost like a small firenado, right? Like it's spinning there with the wind pushing it around. Yes,
no doubt. And I don't know if you noticed, Pedro and Cher, that some water coming up through the roof. So that indicates that there you see a spray there. That indicates firefighters are inside the building with the hose lines putting the water onto that portion of the fire. So very brave firefighters here, knowing what they're doing. They're professionals. LA City Fire does a great job in putting out fires all the time. They are quick and they're efficient, and they're actually, you know, in a case like this, they're likely protecting the merchandise in those floors down below.
Right, and it looks like we've got some power lines that are exposed over here as well, and so that's also a factor in safety for the firefight, as well as the winds are a little bit of a factor too, you know, so you're trying, the firefighters are doing their best just to keep it contained in this building and not to have any of these embers fly to another structure or maybe perhaps the random palm tree that could catch fire, and then that could cause a disaster. So they've got a lot of resources on this and doing their best to contain it. And it looks at this point now that even though we're seeing the flames still on this part of the building, it's starting to calm down just a little bit.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Sherry, you make a good point. The firefighters have a lot to consider during a firefight like that. A lot of times they have power line issues where the power lines come down and they're still charged. They have to be very cautious with that. Also, one thing that some people might not think of is the runoff from the fire. You get a lot of that water coming down and going into storm drains. They got to make sure that they are able to protect the area around from flooding, but also you know, what's in that water that's running down the street, and they have to block off. You know, sometimes they have to block off the storm drains to divert that water. So a lot of things to consider, not just the fire itself, but other factors that are safety issues.
Yeah, across the street you have several businesses there. There's a small shopping plaza across the sea where you see the wind chills there at the bottom of your screen. So again, just try to contain the flames to that one building. Do the best they can to put it out so it doesn't. It looks like a loss at this point, that roof being what it is, but you just worry about the businesses on the inside, because even if they are able to contain it to just the second floor, you think about the smoke damage, the water damage that would have certainly affected all the businesses on the first floor there, Gil.
Absolutely, that's a definite consideration. You know, many times there'll be salvage groups. They call themselves salvage groups. The firefighters are assigned to salvage for property that's not damaged yet. A lot of times you'll see them pulling furniture out and products out of businesses or houses that are not damaged. They work to save whatever they can out of the business or buildings that are on fire. So again, a lot of factors, a lot of firefighters down on the scene to deal with all aspects of the fire.
Yes. As we come up to the 6 o'clock hour, you are watching breaking news. And again, this is happening in the Westlake District. Crews battling this building fire. It's a mixed-use building with residential apartments on the top. We believe that this started in the attic of this building, and firefighters have been battling this for some time now, well over a half an hour. LA City Fire doing their best to vent the roof, as we've seen, and there were some ferocious flames at some point, really, where they had to actually retreat and get back onto their trucks, where now we see about 2 firefighters or 3 that are trying to assess what the strength of that roof is right now, and if there's any more that they need to do from this part of the firefight. But you know, Gil, I gotta say that in the short time, they've actually gotten quite a bit of control of it since we first came on air.
Yeah, boy, LA City Fire, the best in the world, I'd say. I've witnessed a lot of these fires, and they are on it. They are aggressive. They go into the fire. They fight it from inside. When they have to pull out, of course they do, but many times, you know, we'll get launched to a fire, and they'll have it out by the time we get there. So they're pretty amazing to see them work.
All right, Gil, thank you. This is Micah Ullman along with Cher Calvin, KTLA 5 News at 6. As you've been watching dramatic pictures here from the Westlake District of this fire that has essentially gutted the second story of this building that we understand were apartment buildings, and it appears to be businesses on the ground floor. We're joined by Margaret Stewart with LA City Fire. Margaret, good of you to take the time. What can you tell us and update our viewers on the situation here?
Thank you. Well, fortunately, the aggressive interior fire attack combined with the vertical ventilation has made tremendous progress against the blaze. As your viewers can see, the amount of fire they shortly a time ago saw coming from the roof is no longer there. We still do have pockets of fire that crews have to work to access inside because of the compartmentalization and the difficulty accessing some of it. Fortunately, we have no injuries reported. There appears to be 8 residential units. We're confirming that number on the second floor, which is where the fire started. The first floor is commercial units. It is an occupied building. So as I said, fortunately, there are no injuries reported. Our LAFD arson investigators are on scene, and there is one person in custody. We do not currently know the connection nor whether this person is of interest in this incident. That has to be determined through the law enforcement investigation.
Margaret,
Go ahead. Sorry, just wanted to mention to ask commuters to avoid the 7th Street and Hoover intersection throughout the evening. Right now it's completely blocked, but we will be on scene all night, and the area will be congested with our apparatus.
Margaret, you said one person is in custody, the LAFD arson investigation on scene, and that is quite alarming. Do we have any more information about that? Is it a resident?
No, it's too early. It's too early right now. We don't have those details. Our focus is clearly on the extinguishment of the fire. LAPD and our arson investigators will be looking into that person and their potential involvement. But we won't have that information straight away.
Margaret, terrific work by the firefighters on scene as we saw this fire contained to just the one building. We do know there's an adjacent building just a matter of feet away from this building that was essentially decimated by fire. And it looks as though the walls on this building, all 4 of them, frankly, are cement or cinder block walls, which I would assume might help firefighters to contain the fire and allow it to go vertical rather than horizontal.
So this is what we call a pre-33 center hall building, meaning it's a brick construction. So there are upsides and downsides to brick and concrete buildings because it does trap the heat in, which makes it more difficult for fire attack to make access. But the coordinated efforts between our truck company cutting those holes all the way across the roof of that building and the flames coming out, that releases heat and the unburned gases, which improves the condition inside. So this type of construction, it's really important to have that coordinated effort because you can't make a interior fire attack with that amount of fire present.
What is the plan for the residents tonight of those 8 apartment units? I mean, do you have some kind of a place where they can go or they can call if they haven't been home and they're seeing this on TV? What do you want to tell them?
Well, if there are occupants that need assistance, the incident commander will call the Red Cross to respond. They will handle any immediate needs. The first option is always if they have somewhere else to go, if they have family members or friends, but if they don't, then the Red Cross will help with those needs on scene.
All right, Margaret Stewart with LA City Fire, thank you for taking the time here as we continue to cover this dramatic situation unfolding in the Westlake District. Gil Levis in Sky 5. Gil, we saw firefighters remain on the roof of this structure as the flames got so very close to them. It looked frightening for a time, but they managed to continue to cut holes in the roof, and you see the difference it made.
Micah and Sherry, yeah, Micah, it was amazing to see those firefighters be right against the edge of the building there. Basically, they were on the roof, they were fighting that fire just a couple steps backwards, and they're off the roof. But they stayed there, they held their line as long as they could, and then finally got off on those ladders. But still, firefighters staying up there, a couple of them at least, to the very end, and the difference being made inside the structure with water lines being sprayed up and into that roof line helped to bring that fire and knock it down, at least in that front section of the building. It sounds like the bottom level level is free of fire at this point, but firefighters here, this is going to be on the west side as I come over here to the west side of the structure. You can see a firefighter on the roof. We see flashlights inside, so they're in there. They're working those hot spots in there to put out the fire. I've seen some flashlights in the front windows here of the apartments on the top level. They're investigating exactly what they have in there and hitting the hot spots there. So a job well done here by the fire department to knock this down. You know, we were coming from the Long Beach area, and we could see the smoke billowing up from behind the downtown LA buildings from quite a distance. So it was a major fire. When we arrived here, there was heavy flames coming through that roof, burning through that attic, and now we just have a couple of hot spots here in the attic space or in the roof line there that they're going to work to deal with. But again, a great job by the fire department to get a handle on this and knock it down so quickly.
All right, again, at 7th and Hoover in the Westlake District, this building, the fire has been contained to just this building here. Clearly a total loss on the second floor. What's happening on the first floor as they continue to attack from the interior? Firefighters, again, evacuations. No one hurt that we are aware of at this point. One suspect in custody. Circumstances unclear at this point as to how this fire started. Arson investigators are on scene. We'll continue to follow this story and bring you more details as they become available.